Hey guys, Zennosh here, and today in this video of Cookie Run Kingdom, I'm here to present you guys with the latest PvP as well as PvE tier list in this game as that of February 26, 2021. Before starting this video, I would love to give a big thanks to this amazing guy known as Isopog, who actually came up with this tier list in the first place, and I totally agree with it, guys. It's really cool indeed. And today in this video, I'm here to explain why he has placed certain hero units into their respective tiers. Alright, so let's get this started without wasting any further time. So let's start with the SS tier hero units, right? The first is gonna be Herb Cookie. This guy is mad insane. He actually can provide tons and tons of heal for all the allies in the team right away. Whether it be the PvP content or the PvE story contents, is definitely going to provide a massive help to all the allies in terms of healing and clearing all the debuffs as well. So really a great unit out there. He just can allow you to turn the tables around. His healing is that amazing. The best healer so far in the game right away, hands down. Okay, and that's the Herb Cookie. Now let's start talking about the another hero unit, and that's gonna be the Dark Choco Cookie, also placed in SS tier. So what's so great about him? The first thing is that like his stats are really awesome. He can actually tank all day long, and on top of that one, guys, he can decrease the defense of the opponents by 20%. That means like you can offensively approach the opponents out there. That's what he actually provides on the table. You can actually deal some massive damage against the opponents out there, and with the ongoing trend of Espresso and Licorice Cookie, you can actually deal some insane damage to the opponents with their defense decreased, okay? So with him, your DPS is definitely going to be boosted, which is going to be quite helpful in the PvP contents out there, alright? So now let's move on to the next unit, and that's going to be the Espresso Cookie. Oh my god, so far the best damage dealer. With him being around, you can progress very easily, whether it be the PvP content or the story contents, alright? In the arena contents, he just makes the quick work of the opponents right away. His active skill is like an oblivion to the opponents out there. It's like a catastrophe. It can really deal some insane damage to all the opponents out there and just can clear them out right away. Provided that your Espresso Cookie is very powerful, oh my god, your damage can be really insane and you can just knock the shit out of the opponents right away. That's what Licorice really, like this Espresso Cookie really provide on the table. Really good DPS unit indeed, and AoE on top of that one. Wow, so good, isn't it? Now let's move on to the next cookie, and that's gonna be the Licorice Cookie, also placed in SS tier. Hands down, one of the best cookies so far. I really did my best to get him right away. I could not summon him, but I really tried to get him through the like the Soul Stone conversions in the shop section. All right, I'm like in the mileage, the summon mileage. I got it from there. Anyways, that set aside, how I got him. Looking into his skill, he is damn solid, amazing. Why? Because he can actually summon up to 3 of his minions, alright? And with those 3 minions, he can actually provide extra defense to the entire team, and his minions have very high like stats out there as well. Usually, the Rye Cookie, she always targets the minions. Most of the time, and Licorice has been a very perfect counter for Rye Cookie, who could have actually been one of the threat in the arena content, and that is also the reason why the Rye Cookie is also placed in low tiers out there. I feel like the way that the Rye Cookie is actually focusing on her minions, his minions, it's really laughable indeed. So really good unit out there, and his minions, even though they don't deal really that great damage, but they really do provide extra shield effect, with which your team can have extra survivability. He also does provide that extra defense boost for the entire team, so that the survivability of the entire team gets boosted even further. Oh my god, man, this guy is so cool. And along with it also comes a great damage as well whenever he is summoning the minions. Yeah, the nearby opponents really do get hit by his skill really hard, okay? And that's the Licorice on the table, guys. With him, you can actually expect to be like a one-man army stuff, okay? Because like with his minions, there are like 4 units in the table right now, right? So yeah, that's the Licorice, guys. If you manage to get him, you are damn lucky, alright? So that set aside, now let's move on to the S tier hero units now, guys, alright? And the first unit is gonna be the Vampire Cookie. Yes, this guy is super solid, damn amazing, especially for the PvP arena contents. Why? Because of the heavy damage that he can deal to the rarest opponent, yeah, the one who actually stays on the rear, he's going to deal about like more than 700% damage right over there. That means like he can just nuke the shit out of that opponent right away. Like, you want to get rid of the herb cookie from your opponent right away, then use Vampire Cookie on your team. He's just going to get rid of them right away, and that can actually provide you a huge advantage in the battle right off the bat. Alright, and guess what, guys, as a Vampire Cookie, he's also really good at life stealing. So yeah, for self-sustain it's pretty good. And guess what, guys, his cooldown is just 13 seconds, so that means like he's a very viable cookie, especially for the PvP battles. He is meant for PvP battles, guys. Alright, and now let's move on to the next cookie, and that's gonna be the Tiger Lily Cookie. Okay, well, what's gonna happen is that like she can actually summon her tiger, with which she can actually do some pouncing attack, and on the end she is going to stun the nearby opponents for up to 3 seconds. That's really cool for the PvP contests, guys, because stun is always a good thing to have around, where the opponents are rendered useless and you can just keep on dealing a massive damage on them while getting no damage incoming from them, because like they are stunned for the meantime, right? And she can deal some really heavy damage thanks to the tiger himself as well. Tiger inflicts the close range serial damage with its claws right over there. Really cool, guys. So that's gonna be our Tiger Lily Cookie. And the next cookie in the list is gonna be the Pomegranate. Alright, this Pomegranate, I've been really using her, and she definitely has made me really happy. Alright, why? Because she's also offensive type support. She actually provides 20% attack boost to the allies. That is so cool, man. Meaning like your team DPS will actually improve very much. And on top of that, she also provides some minor healing out there, with which your team has extra sustenance. So really great support unit out there. Definitely you would want to use her in ally, or let's say in pair with Herb Cookie, to provide a really good sustaining offensive support to the entire team. Really great unit, guys. Really great unit. And that's gonna be the Pomegranate Cookie. And now let's move on to the next cookie, and that's gonna be the Milk Cookie. Oh my god, the day I got my Milk Cookie, it has never been the same again. Okay, things actually just changed right away. The best thing about him is that like when his shield is active, he can actually mitigate the incoming damage by up to 50%. Yes, the 50% damage will be reduced right away. That is so damn amazing. He can actually tank all day long on the front row, especially if you have a really good healer like Herb and Pomegranate on this side. Okay, this guy is not gonna be kicked out really that fast from the battlefield. And he can also deal some really good area damage in front of him, and he can even taunt the opponents up to like 5 seconds. That's so cool. Being able to taunt, that means like all the opponents will be forced to attack him only, right? And that means like it provides a really good like protection for a squishy hero units, especially in the back row. So there we go, guys. That's the Milk Cookie for you guys. Really good stuff. Knight in the shining armor indeed. Now let's move on to the lower tier, and that's gonna be the A tier. All right, and the Supog has written that these are the subs. Use this cookie to substitute SS or S tier cookies if you are missing them. Alright, and let's see, and let's start with the Madeline Cookie. Alright, the Madeline Cookie is kind of like a little bit less effective than compared to the Milk Cookie. He is good, he's really good, not really that bad actually. Let's look into his skill right over here, guys. He can provide immunity to himself, and he can actually recover some of his health, but most of the players do complain that his health recovery is not really that enough. It's not really that significant. Alright, so that's being said, is not really that super duper effective as Milk Cookie, who actually can mitigate the 50% of incoming damage right away with his Milk Shield. Alright, so yeah, Madeline Cookie is suffering some crisis right over here. Let's see if he's actually going to get better buffs in the near future. Alright, but when it comes to like the battle against buff and debuffs, definitely our Madeline Cookie is gonna be a little bit better out there because of the immunity buff that he actually provides to himself. Alright, and now let's move on to the next cookie, and that's gonna be the Hosamogan. The Poison Mushroom Cookie, guys. This guy is so cool. Alright, the best dot dealer in the game, the dot damage dealing, and because like he actually can poison all the opponents on the opponent's side and keep on dealing that dot damage over and over again. Especially for the beginners out there, he's definitely gonna be a really great help to control the crowds. It's just that like he cannot come up with a really massive damage right away. all right, which could actually turn the tides of the battle right away. You gotta be really fast, especially in the PvP battles, to actually make sure that your team wins. But his dot damage may not actually make it in time. That's why he's now placed in A tier. Not useless, really useful, but not really that super useful. All right, really good unit to have indeed. Okay, so that's set aside. Now let's move on to the next unit, and that's gotta be the Kumiho Cookie, the recently released unit, and we got her for free. Yeah, for free, guys. All you need to do is do her event, and you will be getting her for free. That's how good she is. All right, and looking into her skill, guys, what's gonna happen is that, like, there's gonna be a little bit of transformations. She's going to deal some area damage, and she's going to charm the opponents. And most of the players have said that the charm actually stuns the opponents, and that's gonna be it, guys. Sounds pretty good on the paper, but not really that super useful. All right, so putting her in A tier, I would say that's pretty good enough. Okay, you can actually substitute our like dark Choco cookie for like with her until the time you get the dark Choco cookie. If it sounds wrong, right? Okay, I mean, like, if you don't have dark Choco cookie, you can just place her right over there. Okay. And that's all there is to it for the Kumiho Cookie. And now let's move on to the next tier, and that's gonna be the B tier, which the Isupok has said just okay, worse than A tier, but still usable if you have nothing else. Okay, so well, let's start talking about them. The first unit is going to be the Werewolf. Okay, so let's see what's so good about him. When you have like Werewolf in your team, he actually does provide that extra tankiness out there, guys, because like whenever he's going to transform into the werewolf, he's going to have that extra HP. He's going to deal some extra damage out there thanks to the boost in his attack, and he can also deal some AoE attacks as well at the same time. So that's all there is to it out there, but not really that super impressive, guys. He has, I mean, like, his skill is not something that would actually allow you to turn the tables around. All right, so there we go, guys. Even though he looks really, really cool, not really that super cool, guy. Super useful. All right. And next unit is going to be the purple Yam Cookie, the cookie that I had been using for so long time. Definitely very helpful because of the AoE knockback that he provides on the table. And he can deal some really good damage as well. If the opponents really do penetrate like inside your team, thanks to the purple Yam Cookie, you can always keep the opponents on the bait. But that's all there is to it. Nothing really super to brag about him. All right, and now let's move on to the next cookie. That's gonna be the chili pepper cookie that we actually get for free in the game right away, right? So see, it's just like the vampire cookie, but a least effective. Okay, yes, you can actually deal some heavy damage, but it's not really that super as compared to the vampire cookie in order to just get rid of the opponents right away. Yes, he does actually even ensures, or let's say guarantees, a critical damage, but still the damage is not really that super enough. So that means like you gotta keep on using her skills over and over again for her to be effective, and that's not a really good luxury to have in the PvP battles. All right, so that's a chili pepper cookie, very limited unit indeed. And next is going to be the snow sugar cookie. All right, this girl, where yes, there are so many players who really do love her. Her snow giant, yes, that actually seems to be really good stuff, but well, the damage that it does is not really that impressive, and it only reduces the attack speed by up to like 25%, and that's gonna be there. That's all there is to it. And the most problematic thing about her skill is that like it has a 20-second cooldown. Wow, the highest cooldown in the game so far. 20-second cooldown. That is so bad. If it were to be like 13-second cooldown, maybe she could have really placed in the higher tier out there, but 20-second cooldown, not really something to brag about, guys. It's too bad, really bad. And next is going to be the mint Choco Cookie. He really can actually provide very good healing, and on the same hand, he can also boost the attack speed of the allies as well by 25%. That is really cool. He is a support type unit, and if you really want to have some offensive advantage against the opponents out there, you can use him. If you don't have herb around and somehow you manage to get already this mint Choco Cookie, you can use him for the meantime for a substitution for pomegranate or herb cookie. Okay, so that's all there is to it. Now let's move on to the next unit, and that's gonna be the sparkling cookie. All right, sparkling cookie can also provide very amazing heal to the entire team, and on top of that one, he can boost the crit rate of the alloys by 15%. Crit rate boost is really good actually, because the critical damage boost that the the cookies are getting is really high, and being able to tap into the critical damage is really cool, because the amount of damage that you can deal to the opponents is gonna be increased exponentially. Alright, it's gonna be really high, so any kind of extra crit rate boost is gonna be always welcome. So really good unit. If possible, I could have placed him in the A tier as well. Really good unit, guys, really good unit, because like being able to deal the critical damage is really awesome, really awesome, and 15% of critical rate boost is pretty good to have around, guys. Alright, and finally, the last epic cookie that we are going to talk about today is going to be the Rye Cookie. Okay, Rye Cookie, definitely awesome, being able to nuke a lot of damage on the single target, but the thing is that like Licorice has been a very perfect counter for her. Okay, usually the minions are the one who are always going to take her shots, and that is so waste of her skill out there. If that were not to happen, if she were to work really good, damn, her damage could have been spot on. She could have actually got rid of those opponents right away from the PvP battles, and making it surefire way for victory right out there. Like let's say 5 versus 4 opponents right away. Like she is nearly in the league of the Vampire Cookie, if things were to be right. It's just that like Licorice had been really countering her really good. Okay, so that's why she is right now in the lower tier right now. Maybe in near future she might actually get the boost. All right. Anyways, for the boss battles in the PvE contests is definitely great. That's what I have to say. And now let's move on to the notable rare cookies. Yes, you might not want to really miss out on the rare cookies as well, right? Because like, who is actually going to get all these epic cookies right away? Even though you are going to get them eventually, alright? You can see that like I have only 3 epic cookies left to get, and I'm a free-to-play player. So yeah, you will actually get them eventually in this game. Kind of really free-to-play content, isn't it? Okay, so now let's see what are the rare cookies that you can use in order to just compensate your epic cookies, alright? So the first rare cookie that you can use in your team is gonna be the Princess Cookie. Okay, this Princess Cookie is a perfect substitution for the Dark Choco Cookie. She can actually decrease the defense of the opponents by up to 15%. So good, man. So yeah, for the Dark Choco Cookie, this is a really perfect substitution out there. And once you have Dark Choco Cookie, you can actually replace the Princess Cookie, alright? And the next cookie is gonna be the Night Cookie. Oh my god, he can actually provide a lot of defense. I mean, like a lot of tankiness, a lot of like, you know, that punching back stuff to the team. He can actually soak in a lot of damage, and on top of that one, he can taunt the opponents as well. Think about it, man. The taunt is really good, being able to force the opponents to attack this unit only. Alright, that actually provides a very extra, like protection for your squishy opponents that could be actually killed in the next shot by, let's say, by Vampire Cookie, or let's say by Rye Cookie, right? You can just, like prevent that from happening. Okay. So that's the Night Cookie, and the next cookie is going to be the Avocado Cookie, alright? So what's so special about our beloved avocado, the fatty cookie right over here? The thing is that with her around, your highest attack unit, possibly always, the Espresso Cookie is going to get 30% of attack boost. Wow! With that amount of attack boost, you can actually deal insane damage to the opponents out there, possibly swiping them off, or let's say wiping them off the battlefield in just one skill shot. Right? So yeah, Avocado Cookie, like, not someone to mess with. Alright, she actually does provide a very offensive power to the entire team, being herself a defensive unit. Alright, so really cool unit, guys. The next unit in the list is going to be the Cherry Cookie. Okay, so let's talk about the Cherry Cookie. Like, what's so special about her? She can actually throw the bombs that can actually deal the damage to the AoE targets, as well as stun them as well. So really good, guys. Area damage and stun. So yeah, you can actually make the opponents a little bit disoriented and keep on raising them, and thanks to those small, like differences, those turns, you definitely can have extra advantage against the opponents out there. A really good cookie, guys. Really good cookie to have around when you don't have epic cookies to actually brag about, right? And finally, a free-to-play unit known as the Custard Cookie that I used for a very long time, guys. This guy is super cool unit indeed. Guess what, guys? He not only just provide healing for the 2 allies out there, but also provide them with the HP shield. So healing plus HP shield, that's extra protection out there. Alright, because he says Cause that's what kings do. Okay, so that's it and done, guys. That's it for the PvP tier list. And now let's move on into the PvE tier list. So how it really looks like. Okay, so first of all, looking into the SS tier, obviously we have the Herb Cookie. Herb Cookie is the best cookie out there in terms of providing massive heal to your entire team and keep on sustaining your team, as well as cleansing them as well from their debuffs. Alright, next is gonna be the Dark Choco Cookie, decreasing the opponent's defense by 20% and also dealing some really good damage against them. It's really cool to have in order to improve your DPS output. Next is gonna be the Espresso Cookie. Come on, man, he's the best. He can actually deal really great AoE damage, clearing the waves one after another. That makes your gameplay progression real fast, because in the story progression there is a time limit. If you cannot clear the contents within the time, you are still going to lose. Even though like it seems like you might actually win the battle, right? You are still going to lose it. So yeah, to prevent that one, you can use the Espresso Cookie right away. Next is gonna be the Licorice Cookie. Licorice Cookie with his 3 minions, definitely extra tankiness to the team, extra defense boost out there, like 20% defense boost is so good to have around as well. So definitely a unit worth having in your team. Next is gonna be the Milk Cookie, providing that heavy, like mid shield for the entire team. Is so cool, man, because he can taunt the opponents, and on top of that one, he can create the milk shield that can decrease the incoming damage by up to 50%. So really good, really good. Next is going to be the Pomegranate Cookie. Wow, Pomegranate Cookie in pairing up with Herb, she is unstoppable, providing 20% of attack boost as well as some like supporting healing. That is really good to have around. With her around, there is extra sustenance plus extra DPS output. So really good. Like Pomegranate Cookie, awesome. Next is going to be the S tier units, like semi-core. Very good units, but not as good as SS tiers. So the first is going to be the Tiger Lily Cookie. She can stun the opponents out there. She can jump with her Butter Tiger, and so on, and extra damage out there. Alright. Next is going to be the Madeline Cookie, being able to tank a lot of incoming damages. He can actually recover his own health, though it's not really that significant, and on top of that one, he can also provide immunity to himself as well. That makes him not vulnerable to any kind of debuffs out there. So pretty good tank unit out there. And next cookie is going to be the Vampire Cookie, being able to pick off the opponents like one by one. It's really cool to have around, and on top of that one, he can actually siphon, or let's say his lifesteal the health from the opponents, right? So that means like he's really good at self-sustenance as well. So you really don't have to really worry about this unit out here. And now let's move on to the A tiers that are the subs for the S tier units. And the first is going to be the Rye Cookie. Rye Cookie is going to be really great unit, especially for the boss battles. If you are really trying to fight against the boss battles, if the boss is really bullying you really hard, then bring the Rye Cookie. She is just going to make sure that the boss falls down real fast with the barrage of her series of bullet attacks. Okay, now let's move on to the next unit. That's gonna be the Mushroom Poison Cookie, the Hozamogan. That cookie really do provide a lot of dot damage against the opponents out there. Really good at controlling the crowds. Really awesome, guys. I would say for the beginners, definitely a must-have cookie. Okay, and you can use it right away. Use him right away in order to get some really good advantage against the opponents early on in the game. Next is going to be the Kumiho Cookie that we are now getting for free. Really cool cookie, guys. She can actually provide really good tank as well at the same time. Also really good damage at the same time as well. She can transform into that fox thing and so on and on. She can charm the opponents, stunning them and so on and on. Next is going to be the main Choco Cookie. Main Choco Cookie, really good, and providing like extra heal to the allies and also at the same time boosting their attack speed. So really good to improve the DPS output of the opponent. Of the team, right? So that's good. Next is gonna be the Sparkling Cookie, providing extra heal to the entire team, and also at the same time he can actually increase the crit rate of the allies by 15%. So that's really good, guys. That's really good. And next is going to be the B tier. In the B tier, we have first this Werewolf. Okay, Werewolf, when he transforms, gets that HP boost as well as attack boost, and can actually start dealing some AoE damage with his swipe attacks. So that's all there is to it. Looks cool, but definitely not super duper useful. Alright, Purple Yam Cookie, good at knocking back the opponents, and that's all there is to it. Can tank some really good damage, but will definitely fade in the like future contents, or let's say in the late game contents. All right, next is going to be the chili pepper cookie. Her damage is not really that superb, even though like she really do guarantees that critical damage, but her damage modifier or attack boost is not really that super duper awesome. All right, she actually kind of like really struggles to kill the opponents out there, especially the boss units. And next is going to be the snow sugar cookie. With her giant, the snow giant, definitely she can be a really great help, but the thing is that her cooldown is about 20 seconds, and that is so sad. That's really a big disappointment and a disadvantageous thing out there. Alright, anyways, now let's move on to notable rare cookies. It's the same as that of before. Princess Cookie, we have got the Night Cookie, we have got the Avocado Cookie, we have got the Cherry Cookie, and we have got the Custard Cookie. These all cookies can actually provide a lot of help to our teammates. Like, let's say Princess Cookie can actually be a really good substitution for the Dark Choco Cookie, who is the top tier unit right away. Next is going to be the Night Cookie, who can actually provide a very good substitution for the Milk Cookie by providing the taunt for the team, so that like the opponents will not actually target your squishy allies. Next is going to be the Avocado, providing a huge boost of like 30% attack boost to your highest attack ally right over there in your team. Possibly it's going to be the Espresso, so in just one AoE shot, Espresso is going to clear out all the mobs, right? So yeah, that's what Avocado is for. Next is going to be the Cherry Cookie, like bomb attacks and dealing AoE damage, as well at the same time stunning them. Really good, guys. It just gives you more control over the crowds. And finally, the Custard Cookie, that provides healing for 2 of the allies, and also at the same time providing them with the shield. So really good defensive and healing ability out there for the Custard Cookie. And that's it for today, guys. That's all for this PvP as well as the PvE tier list provided by our very own Isopok. So again, I would really love to forward a big thanks to this amazing guy known as Isopok, who actually came up with this tier list, and I am really happy with this tier list. It's really good, even though that he has said that it's an unofficial tier list. I would say you can actually make it official. Okay, this tier list is it's right on the spot. Okay, right on the spot. If you guys really do disagree with this tier list, let me know in the comment section below, like which particular opponent, particular character or hero unit or cookie needs to go up the tier list or should go down the tier list in the comment section below, and we can have a really good discussion about that one. All right, and if you did really love this video, if you found this video really informative, please do hit the like and subscribe button right away. Okay, and I will be coming with more contents in the near future. Until then, see you guys in the next video.